Hey, bang, bang. What's going on, guys? Doing this new edition. Main event, Talkin Hands. So, as I'm most supposed to tell, joined by my host, Mr. Danny Betts. Hopefully, this fight goes off without a hitch, unlike last week, which we'll get into here shortly.
Without a hitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There. Uh, Richardson Hitchens taking on George Kambosos. That's the fight we're going to talk about this week. But we got to talk about the elephant in the room and no Davis fight. So that was the fight we talked about last week. Had a lot of chitter chatter in the comments. Online, I felt like, too. It was pretty well discussed. Like, it was actually getting talked about quite a bit. Keyshawn Davis is overrated. De Los Santos is this. De Los Santos is that. And fight does not happen. Keyshawn Davis misses weight, overweight, 4.5 pounds, I believe. I don't know what exactly happened. Did they not come with a settlement on like pay difference or what they want to give up? Or do you know exactly? Or
I kind of know I know they thought. Listen, like Keyshawn tried to pull one, bro. They thought that De Los Santos, since he's been laid off, I mean, he hasn't been fined for like what 2 years.
yeah,
He would come overweight, and De Los Santos would accept the fight. Obviously, all thinking like he needs the paycheck, so I'm gonna get an advantage. And he was probably thinking he's going to 140 anyways. That's why I'm assuming.
yeah,
De Los Santos said no, so they're gonna pay him anyways. But supposedly, one of my boys, he's a lawyer. Shout out to my boy Gabriel. He's from Puerto Rico. I guess he spoke to a couple of managers and stuff, and supposedly they haven't paid De Los Santos yet. So that's a whole different story. I don't know what's going on. He definitely needs his bag. But it's a shit show with Keyshawn, bro. Like how you go. We're pumping him up. A lot of us are pumping him up.
yeah.
Skill wise, boxing wise, yeah, he deserves it. Dude has some skills and things like that. And you got all this hype. You just got the belt. Great performance. Good knockout. Find a good competition in De Los Santos, and then you do all this. Like, it's a complete 360, bro. Now, I'm thinking he's a clown. Like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
guy looks like a clown. You miss weight by 5 pounds being a champ. They strip you from the belt. You get mad because your brother lost to the guy that gave you a good contest, but it was a no contest because you popped for weed. And you go try to beat him up in the locker room and shit like that. Like, shout out to Mario and my boy Andrew D in the chat. It was just a shit show, clown shit, bro. I don't know what else to say. Like, it was bad, bro. His stock weight, for me personally, his stock weight went way down, bro. Just from all this, like, it was bad.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, Chad Mario Barrios and Andrew G. I was really spearheading the hype last week. I was really excited, hyped. I thought we were getting good value with the KO prop. Good plus money. Felt good. Returned to the hometown fight, Norfolk, Virginia. He comes home, and then he doesn't even show up, literally, or shows up in backstage instead of on stage. Horrible. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. If he had like a memory lapse or took a drug of some sort.
You know what they're gonna say. I mean, I know, but I just hate it because I feel like everybody uses that as scapegoat, which he does have some history of some like mental if you want to say mental illness.
Yeah.
I don't like calling it that when it comes to this. There's a specific mental illness health that you gotta worry about. This is just bullshit. Like, this is just like you trying to be. I mean, you are an idiot for doing all this stuff. Like, you're over here like losing your temper, things like that. So I don't know what they're gonna do now, but it was just, it sucks, bro. Like, you and money changes people, bro. That could be a part of it too.
Yeah, no doubt. He definitely was coming up. Great performance after great performance, and then literally just didn't show up. Horrible.
Did you see him too? Like, when he showed up. I mean, he was there in the arena. He was eating popcorn. Just like, dude, you look like a clown. Like, can somebody on his team like grab him and like give him a fucking, like, scream at this kid? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was, because I felt like the Burnchek fight, whenever that was, I felt like he was on pace for fighting a lot this year. They're really ramping him up.
Right. I thought he was going to blow up the rest of the year, bro.
Win on Saturday, big fight, huge fight next time. But it didn't happen, and looked bad. Looked very, very bad.
Supposedly, and I thought the same thing. And some of the boxing group chats I'm in, we were talking about it supposedly, which I'm going to be pissed at anyways, but it still doesn't make sense. Supposedly, they probably got a phone call, like, hey, you might have a bigger fight at 140 down the road, like in September, Saudi Arabia, hint, or something like that. So that's the rumor going out there right now. I don't know any. Don't take that from me. I don't know if that's true or not at all, but it's still dumb. Like, why would you make this happen the last day before or whatever the fight is and miss weight by 5 pounds pretty much?
Just horrible all the way around, and hopefully stuff gets situated, because I did hear potential lawyers, maybe lawsuit. I know Albright was saying he wants to see him in the ring, like the boxing ring again. I doubt that happens, but who knows? So moving to that, we're gonna hopefully get the fight that happens this week. Hopefully, Richardson Hitchens take on George Kambosos Jr. Current odds: FanDuel, Hitchens massive favorite -1350, Kambosos +720. Prop market right now has Hitchens points / decision -195. That's come down pretty considerably. And Hitchens KO +220. Kambosos decision 13-1. Kambosos KO 11-1. This is really pretty much the only fight for the week. Dan, what are you liking here? Hitchens, Kambosos.
There's another. Well, I'm not gonna say fight, but like another.
Like the Andy Cruz one, or
Andy Cruz, yeah. Another really good fighter on this card, but we if you listen to the prediction in I think it was Hitchens versus Paro. I had a big bet on Hitchens in that one. He was a slight underdog. The kid's got the length for the division. Good jab, good boxer. The only thing he lacks is a little bit of the power, man. He doesn't have a lot of knockouts, things like that. Good movement. Can trash talk. You always like to see that. He's over here talking shit to Kambosos. And Kambosos, if you know me, I've been fading this dude for a long time. People call me crazy because I had Lomachenko by knockout around 7-12. They're like, no, the decision's a lock. And then he got rid of him in round 11, I think it was. Kambosos, man, he's an overachiever. You know what I mean? He's big in his hometown and things like that. Like, if you do cards over there with him, he'll sell out and things like that. But like his biggest moment was being Teal. Yeah. When Teal was like on his deathbed pretty much before that fight in the hospital. Plus, at the same time, he was like being way over aggressive. And I mean, arguably could have won that fight, but I still gave it to Kambosos because he did too much early in that fight. Hitchens, good performance from the power fight, like I said. I think he outboxes him easy in this fight, man. I don't think Kambosos has anything for him. And I'm don't do that, G. Because I'm going to get flashbacks. Because I really feel like this is a flashback from the Loma fight. And a lot of people are saying Loma decision's a lock. I'm arguing with people on Twitter. I'm like, I hate saying that word because for me, there's no lock, ever. I just say, max bet or I'm confident as hell, things like that. But I do think this fight is going to be like a unanimous decision for Hitchens. But at the number, dude, I got to go with Hitchens. And I know he's been talking about like putting a little bit more oomph in his punches and things like that, sitting down his punches. This is at 140. Which Hitchens has been fighting there. But Kambosos hasn't been fighting at 140. He's been fighting at 135. It could be two things. Kambosos, it might help Kambosos in his weight cut. 5 extra pounds. Don't got to drain himself down to 135. Even though he's a small guy, so it's not like, he's losing a lot of weight. Or he's not used to the 140 punches. Even though Hitchens is not the strongest puncher, he still can clip you. A lot of volume, body shots, the jab, just peppering the jab, maybe bloody nose and things like that. Because Loma beat his ass, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I think that took a lot of him. And shout out to Loma for the retirement, man. One of the legends of the sport. I got Hitchens all day in this fight. Like, if you're one of those types to parlay minus 1,200, go ahead. I mean, I'm not giving that out like some people or whatever. I think minus 900 or whatever. I'm going to take a shot, though, around 7 to 12. I think it's like plus 400 around there. Probably throw a unit on it. At that number, I got to do it, bro. Like, eventually this kid is... And this is the perfect opponent, too. Like, Kambosos is not... He ain't that great, so... I'm going to take a shot around 7 to 12 with Hitchens.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of what I alluded to earlier. The KO prop and the decision prop are going, sideways almost. Hitchens' decision opened like minus 350, minus 400. Yeah. Now it's down to like minus 200.
Yep.
I think it's going to keep going down. Reason why I don't mind it at all, which I'd probably side with you on that too. Watch the Kambosos fight, his last fight, Jake Wiley, the guy he fought, short notice. The guy who was supposed to fight had a medical scare or emergency. So this kid comes in off the undercard, comes up, and Kambosos he won the fight pretty easily. He tagged the other kid a lot, but he was getting hit a lot. Yeah. Kambosos' hands are down a lot. He's just swinging from the hip constantly. What I like with Hitchens, straight punches, like all the time in your face, moving, backing out, boom, boom. And he tagged Paro. Paro was much better than Kambosos. And he won that fight pretty clearly, even though it was a split decision.
That was bullshit.
Yeah. Which even his corner, I think if you rewatch the fight, his corner and even him, he's like, what? Like,
Dude, I'm like, they really going to try to rob Hitchens? I was about to be pissed.
Because, I agree. The 7 to 12 will likely be how it gets done, because I do think, what you just said, like Andrew G said, like Hitchens, it's a lock decision. You look at the record, too, 6 KOs or 7 KOs, like not many knockouts. Kambosos only got stopped by Loma, and Haney just beat him every single minute of that fight. So nothing surprising.
He got dropped by Tio late in that fight too.
Yeah. So I don't mind the look. Yeah, because it's hard to give out. Yeah, minus 1,200 now.
It is hard, but if anything, you could parlay the decision with something else, get a better number, and then it's easy heads. Because I don't see, if Hitchens gets a knockout, I really don't see it early.
No, it's going to have to be
it's going to be late.
Based.
So easy heads, 7 to 12 at plus 400. I mean, that's perfect right there.
Like even here, like, so I'm on like FanDuel. So FanDuel open, fight goes minus 500. Like fight goes the distance. That was last month. And now it's down to minus 240.
Yeah, so. That's a... Bro, that's half, bro. That's a big line movement.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I think people see kind of the same thing. The only worry is, will Hitchens put the volume up to where he can stop him late? But big plus money. It's not I don't disagree with that. And then, I think Kambosos hasn't been good in years, really ever. Like, to be frank, like he's not like that great. So I like that. I think I could see Hitchens getting a late stoppage and hopefully a big time fight at 140. 140's got a lot of big names and makes all the sense in the world. Dang, did you like anything on the Cruz fight? The props there are literally like even money for KO and decision.
Yeah, I forget his opponent's name. Oh my god, you got to pull it up because I forget his.
Hiroroni Mashiro.
We'll go with that, Mashiro. Shout out to
Mashiro.
my boy Joy in the chat. I mean, I got Andy Cruz in this fight all day. I mean, he ain't losing this fight. Now he's got a little bit extra motivation. Like Andy Cruz, if you know about him, he's a gold medalist. Beat Keyshawn Davis, undefeated. I think it's 4-0, maybe 5-0.
5-0, yeah.
5-0, if I'm not mistaken. He's been talking a lot of shit. One thing that I love about Andy Cruz, what he did a couple years back, he went to Philly. And if you know me, I'm a Philly guy. But he went to the Jerron Ennis, Boots Ennis gym with his dad. And he's been there ever since. And he's been getting better. Because when you're coming from the amateurs, Andy Cruz is that Cuban style, Great amateur career, great Olympian. You tend to you're trying to let go of that amateur style and they'll go to the professional. But with a guy like him, just like Loma, he steps right in, fighting a 10-round fight. You know, guys that have a bunch of fights in their record and things like that, because they can do that. They're in that level already, and then try and move up quicker. And I do notice the last couple of fights he's been sitting on his punches more. And I remember, I forget what fight it was. I think it was 2 fights ago that I heard. I actually heard and his father say, he's hurt. Keep sitting on your punches. Keep pushing him forward. So I know they're working for that because he's more movement. If you know the Cuban style, more movement. I'll box you. Good, great fundamentals and things like that. Goes does the pivots and you know. He does all that great. Now, he does have pop on his punches. One thing I liked in his last fight, he was switching stances like Crawford a little bit. And he looked great. Southpaw, too. I actually like the KO, bro. And it's, like you said, it's even money on some books. But I found a book. It ends with 365. It's at plus 150 for the knockout.
Oh, really?
And I love that, bro. This Mishu, no disrespect, but I don't know his name. Japanese guy. I'll talk about him real quick. I was looking at some of his fights. Orthodox. Pretty decent, pretty basic and decent and offensively everywhere. Good jab. Not crazy combinations. He only throws like 3-4s. No You're not going to see no pivots or anything like that. His movement is literally vertical. Up, back, forward, back, forward. That's it. Like I said, his offense is pretty decent. His defense sucks.
Yeah.
Like he's in the center line all the time. Like easier counter. He tries to when he's trying to not pressure you. He's not like a pressure fighter, but every time he tries to get in the pocket, it's like by little humps like this. So it's easier time and things like that. I think Andy Cruz is gonna pick him apart. I don't know. It's just how much can he take. I see a stoppage in this fight, like mid-fight or late. So I like Andy Cruz. This is a 12-round fight. I think Andy Cruz beats his ass, gets the mic, starts talking shit about Keyshawn Davis, like he's been doing anyways, and blows up. Because I think this is if I'm not mistaken, it's a title eliminator for Murataya belt, which I love to watch that fight. And I definitely am pretty confident in one side, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I got Cruz all day.
Yeah, I mean, should be a fun fight. Like I said, I didn't watch anything on the opponent. I know Andy Cruz, obviously, and he's definitely got a ton of hype, and hopefully gets him out of there. Looks good doing it. Shout Wine Time in the chat as well. Wine Time Sports.
Boy.
It's going Wine Time. That being said, I'll move right along to boxing news. You kind of talked about earlier. Probably not the biggest piece of news happened today, but Lomachenko retired. Not a total surprise, obviously. Kind of thought what could happen. And the big piece of news was Canelo Crawford on Netflix, which is really making me regret selling my few shares of Netflix stock I had a few years ago. So Netflix is getting everything, but
they better get their shit because remember the
Mike Tyson,
yeah, it was glitchy. People lost like signal and shit. So for that fight, that shit better not happen, bro.
Oh God, no.
Oh my God.
To be honest, I bet more people watch the Mike Tyson fight though than the Canelo fight.
Yeah, because there's so many,
Yeah.
You got the Jake Paul people, YouTubers and stuff, and then Mike Tyson is just.
So Andrew G. So that fight's next week. So
yeah, that's next week. I was gonna say.
So yeah, we'll definitely talk about it next week when it happens because Brian Norman Jr.'s he's on a warpath too. He's been looking good. So
and if I'm not looking at that name, that dude, if I'm thinking about the right dude, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing those lines, the props.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the money line was pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's minus 400.
For that fight. Yeah. So I'll have to watch Jin Sasaki because I don't know much about him. But those were like the two pieces of news I know about. Did you see or have anything else, Danny? Before we kind of get on out of here, pretty much.
No, not that I seen or remember.
Yeah, yeah, not a whole lot. Like Danny always says, if guys could, please leave a like on the video. Drop some comments down below. Had quite the engaging conversation last week regarding a one Edwin de Los Santos. Unfortunately, fight didn't happen. So we'll never know who was on the right side of the coin on that one. And leave a like, need a book. Use our link in the description down below. FanDuel, DraftKings. Bet365, I believe, is on there as well if you want to look into that Andy Cruz prop, the KO prop. Because I know FanDuel, it's basically even money. So definitely a good line there. Locker Room Talk podcast right after us, UFC Atlanta, Buckley.
Don't bet it yet because I haven't. So don't drop that line for me.
Okay. That being said, we'll get right into it. Best bet time. Dan, let you go and probably just be right with you, telling you here.
Well, best bet is gonna be Cruz KO. I'm more confident, but for the Hitchens fight, like I said, I'm gonna take a unit shot. It's just gonna be a unit on round 7 to 12. I do think he dominates, and the way I think the fight goes is domination. Maybe one scare of Kambosos, getting hurt or something like that. Maybe even getting dropped, but he survives and Hitchens wins a clear unam. But at that number, I gotta take a shot. 7 to 12 for Hitchens.
Yeah, I really want to see Hitchens put a few more like combinations together this fight because Kambosos will be there to get hit. If you watch the Wiley fight, which I did today, Wiley caught him probably 3, 4, 5 times late in the fight, and Kambosos was kind of like tiring out and just not looking good. Clearly won the fight still, obviously, but he's there to be hit, there to be hurt, and I just don't want to give out a minus 200 decision prop watching a fight, praying this guy just jabs his way to a decision, and then he gets a late stoppage. So that looks good to me. 7 to 12. I know FanDuel is plus 390. I'm sure you can find even better other books if you need to. That being said, Danny, got anything for a chat? Anything you want to plug before we get out of here for a Locker Room Talk podcast for the fellas?
Yeah, check the guys out for the UFC breakdowns for this Saturday's card. I am going to Nashville on Thursday for the PFL card. I already put my bets out there on my Twitter X, so go check those out. I got a 5-unit play and a couple other things. I might add more. We'll see. But check me out, Danny Bets with 2 Z's everywhere, social media. My boxing Patreon, the same thing. Might have a big bet for boxing, so still got to dig in, and let's get it.
Yeah, you guys need to follow me at PressCycle on Twitter or X. Like I said, tune into Locker Room Talk podcast. Same with the bag. Tuesday to Friday, Thursday, Friday, $50 horse races. Win the horse race, get $50. And just tune in here, everything Pub Sports Radio, UFC live stream this week. And let's just hope we get that 5 units home, Danny, because I bet it as well. So tune into his Twitter, see the bet, and don't drive that line down too much, but it is going down. So we'll see you guys next week. I don't know the fight exactly off the top of my head, but there is a fight for sure because there's fights like every week till like August. So
it's.
I think Galil Jafai, I think.
Yeah, Jafai and Rodriguez right now.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones that are decent.
And shout Oldie in the chat.
Oldie.
What's going on, Oldie? See you guys next week for that. Week after, we got the big Jake Paul fight, which I'm sure will do crazy numbers. So it's main event. Talkin Hands. See you guys. Peace.